A lot of the relationship problems I see in my office aren't necessarily due to things that happen in present. Many of the things that happen to couples happened before the person involved in the couple was an adult. If you grew up with a neglectful or critical or harsh parent, it's really tough to have a normal relationship. If you grew up with a parent who couldn't love you, who couldn't appreciate you, who maybe was always finding fault with the way you looked or the way you acted, when you're in a relationship, you many times you choose someone that can fulfill that, which means usually they get tired of your behavior, or else you choose someone exactly like your parent, so that in a way you can somehow rectify it or change it, and that never works. What does work is if you learn to self-parent yourself, whether it was a mother or a father. If you can overcome that by remothering yourself or refathering yourself, we now have support in research that oftentimes works. So how do you remother yourself? Think of the concept of what a mother does. A mother is nurturing. A mother is patient. A mother is honest. A mother, more than anyone else, believes in you. If you grew up without that, then you're going to have to give that to yourself. So let's start out with the nurturing and the loving part. What can you do to nurture yourself? We talk about self-care, making sure we have time for ourselves, making sure we have time to do our hair, or maybe if you're a guy, you have time to go to the barber to look nice. We have to start giving ourselves positive affirmations. These are so important. Talking to yourself in a kind way is part of self-care. Allowing yourself to make mistakes without beating yourself up. When you make a mistake, instead of saying something critical or harsh, you might say something like, "That's okay. I'm really proud of you that you took that risk, that you're not afraid to try new things. Good for you." It's these kinds of things that are going to help rebuild you. Secondly, you have to validate what happens, and that means you have to talk about it. You have to talk about it with people who love you, a good friend, or go to a therapist, maybe talk to a reverend, anyone that you can tell the truth about what happened. And hopefully that person will validate you. Oh my gosh, that would be so hurtful. You are so strong to be able to overcome that. Don't just glaze over it, and don't say, "Well, it really wasn't their fault. They were busy too." It's good you understand it as an adult that they had other things too, but it doesn't give them the license or the excuse to treat you, a small child, the way they do. You may have to grieve it. And by grieving it, I mean going to a grief group like Grief Share, maybe taking time off for your mental health to talk to a healthcare professional. Join a group for other young adults or adults who had poor parenting. Anything you can do to help you walk through the steps is going to be really important for your self-care. And lastly, learn to be kind to yourself in your relationship, as well as your work life, and as well as your everyday life. When given the opportunity to either beat yourself up or be kind, choose kindness. You need to rebuild years, formative years, of someone's place who wasn't able to fulfill that. And by all means, share this with your partner. Share what happened to you. Talk about what their part will be. When they do recognize that you are clingy or you are asking them for a parental role, help them by encouraging them to bring it to your attention in a nice way so you can recognize it and then you can make changes. It's not easy. We always pray that we can be a good parent to our children, but that doesn't mean every parent is able to. Don't look at it as, well, my gosh, I guess this just marks me for life. It doesn't have to mark you for life. It wasn't fair to you, but you can work through it and overcome it and go on to love and even raise children who you can love and parent in a loving, caring, discipline type of an environment. And after all, giving society a gift of someone who can actually help society is the greatest gift of all.